Welcome to episode 161 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as Nadir Tani. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, where this is the first podcast of 2023. So Happy New Year. It's currently, today is January the 8th, so I hope that the first week of the new year has treated you well. And if it didn't, then it has 51 more weeks to get it together. So, I don't even know what I'm looking for in this bag. My phone. That's what I was looking for. Well, what do I say at the beginning of these? I haven't done a podcast in a minute. Every December that I do Vlogmas, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna do Vlogmas and I'm also gonna film a podcast. And I never do. I'm always too busy with so many other things. So I never manage to make time to podcast during Vlogmas. I would love to, but it just doesn't work out for me. So here we are. If you did watch Vlogmas, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. December was an up and down month, to be honest. But we'll talk about that later on in life and whatnot. So let's get started with some admin bits. So as y'all know, the Mr. Grinch Mal 2022 was running from November 15th until December 31st. And there was quite a bit of participation, which I'm so grateful for because I fell off of it myself. But you guys are still posting and participating on Instagram, and I really appreciate that. So I did go and pick two winners out of the participants. The first winner was, there were 62 posts on the Mr. Grinch Mal 2022 hashtag. So the first winner was actually number 62, and that is Katyarncrafts, and this is their post. And then the second winner was number 48, which is Saucyknits, and this is their post. So the prize that I want to do, I'm going to do a set of the Grinch progress keepers that I made at the beginning of the month. I'm going to make a set of those for each of the winners and pull a skein of yarn from my stash for the winners. So Katyarncrafts and Saucyknits, please send me a message. Let me know that you saw this. And I will need your mailing address, your name and your mailing address and that stuff so that I can go ahead and get the prize out for you. So thank you so much to everybody who participated. This year was a lot of fun for me to see these Grinchy things popping up in my feed, especially since, I mentioned that December was quite an up and down month for me. So seeing those Grinchy things always brought me a smile, which I really, really appreciate. So now that the Mr. Grinch Mal is all wrapped up in the books, as they say, I guess, we can start looking forward to our next make-along, which is the Pisces season make-along. So the Pisces season make-along of 2023 will start on, what are the dates? February 18th, and it runs till March 20th this year. So as we get closer, I will be posting more information about that. I don't know how many years this has been for the Pisces season make-along. Maybe 3 or 4. So it's always another make-along that makes me very happy, being a Pisces. Yeah, so we'll get into that as the time gets closer, and I will do my best to be a better participant in this make-along than I was in the Mr. Grinch Mal last year. And the last admin bit are our bright spots. Okay, So we have a few bright spots from the last episode, the last podcast episode rather, and I'm gonna read them for you. I think there's maybe 5 or 6. Okay, the first comes from my friend Akira. Hey girl. And it says, I posted a picture of an FO and sometimes the love just warms your heart. That is so true. Like when you finish a project and you post it online and people like it and like tell you that they like it, it's really awesome. But even like just finishing a project yourself and feeling yourself, that's awesome as well. The next bright spot comes from Rebecca, and it says, tonight we had a women's worship service with the theme of be still and know, a message I needed to hear. Yvette's bright spot is, I got the downstairs painted and new windows. I'm falling in love with my house all over again by making new curtains. Esther's bright spot is, my grandson is a straight A student and he's in the 2nd grade. I'm so proud of him. It's fantastic. That's really good. Marquita's bright spot. Today I visited the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center, Tim's Cajun Kitchen with my daughters. I haven't been back in 27 years. It was amazing. All the feelings of my childhood dream of becoming an astronaut flooded me and I literally skipped to the planetarium. I feel that deeply. Some of you may know that I used to live in Huntsville, so I went to college there, and whenever I would, go home during the breaks and come back, the Space and Rocket Center, they have a big rocket outside of it, and it was the landmark that made me feel like I was back home. And that's kind of when I realized that, I had a home and then there was my family home, and I realized the difference between them when I started feeling at home in Huntsville. Renee's bright spot says, Christmas gift of a complete home redo after 22 inches of Hurricane Ian indoor flooding. Hallelujah. Thanks to God for the maker community for sanity. That is really awesome. I'm glad that you were able to get your home redone after Hurricane Ian. Is hurricane season over? I really hope it is. I think it is. Marianne says, I have 2 bright spots. The first is my youngest son figured out why I wasn't able to leave comments on YouTube videos, and now I can. So hey. The second is I crocheted a little Mr. Grinch, and after my middle son gave me tips on embroidering the face, my Grinch turned out very cute. At first he looked like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Well, those are all of the bright spots from last episode. So thank you so much for sharing. And as always, if you have bright spots, things that made you feel good, things that made you smile, or encouraging words or anything like that, you can definitely leave them in the comments and I'll share them on the next episode. Y'all know I am team share joy is double joy. So if there's something out there that is making you feel good, share it in the comments so that we can all experience that as well. The other part of that saying, the shared joy is double joy, is shared sorrow is half sorrow. And I can totally agree with that. I was going to put this at the end, but it doesn't really make sense to put at the end. If you all were not watching Vlogmas, actually on Christmas Eve, my dog Kiva passed away. And she has been a part of my life for 13 and a half years. My husband always says that she was not a licensed emotional support animal, but she did the job. She was on the job. I got her a few years after graduating from college, And I was living by myself, and I really wanted, you know, a companion. And when I adopted her, she, like, the people at the pound or animal services didn't even really know that she was there, because she was so freshly there that she wasn't like checked in or whatever. And when I saw her, I was just like, I think this is my dog. So it was Kalisha and Kiva for quite a while. And then, you know, when I started dating Lamar, he loved her. His favorite memory with her is taking her for walks at my apartment, and across the street from my apartment was this field, and he would walk her over there and then take her off the leash and just let her run. And she was such a good dog. So I miss her very much, and I am just so grateful that I had the blessing of having her in my life for as long as I did. We are, you know, taking each day as it comes. Every so often I get really overwhelmed with like missing her. But I mean, it's par for the course, right? She had a good life, and I am so glad that I was able to give her the life that she had. I'm glad that I was able to be her family. I'm glad that we found each other, you know? So when I shared about it on Vlogmas and on Instagram, there was just an overflowing or an overwhelming amount of encouragement and support and condolences that were shared with us, and I'm just so grateful for that. I am so grateful that you all took the time to, you know, post those comments for me, and it definitely did help to keep me afloat and bring me smiles and things while we are learning to be a family of 2 people and 1 dog. Yeah. So, shared joy is double joy, and shared sorrow is half sorrow. So thank you for helping me lighten the weight of this loss. Let's get into some crafty things. So I have finished objects. I have finished objects, works in progress, maker's plan. Kalisha and the babe is out here. We've got stashed positions, plant mama life. We got a little bit of everything today. So hopefully it won't take me 75 years to record this. So let's get started with finished objects. I'll start with this one since this is on top. One of the things that I did for the Mr. Grinch Mal, but like it was for the Mr. Grinch Mal, but also because I needed something like this in my life. Like, obviously, I wanted a Grinch hoodie, and I don't think I have. No, I don't have any Grinch hoodies. I have Grinch sweatshirts and t-shirts and onesies and pajamas, but I don't have any hoodies. So I fixed that by repurposing one of my Grinch onesies. So this is the top of one of the onesies that I have. Just big fuzzy Grinch pajamas. It has a hood with the Grinch's face on it, and it just brings me so much joy. So basically what I did was just cut it off right below the bottom of the zipper, and I cut it off at the bottom of the zipper, and that was it. I thought that I was going to have to hem it or like put some kind of fray check or something like that on it, but no, like the bottom is perfectly fine. It didn't need any kind of reinforcement or anything. The only thing about this entire project that kind of isn't ideal is that because this was a onesie situation, this is not a separating zipper. So I can unzip it all the way to this point, and then I just have to pull it over my head, which is fine. It's not like hard. So I have been wearing the mess out of this hoodie, and I'm so glad that I made it. One of the other things that is a little bit annoying is my hair is too big for the hood. So like if I have my hair down behind me, I can't pull the hood over my head. Like it will stop back here. So the only way that I can get the hood on my head is if I split my hair in the back and pull it forward. So then I just end up with like all of my locks in the front, and it's not even that big a deal because I be doing it because, you know, sometimes you just need the Grinch's face on your head. But there it is. It's got, you know, the little Grinchy fur on the end of the sleeves. This is the one that just says the Grinch. I have another onesie that has the hearts on it. And then I have a third onesie that's kind of the same style, but just a slightly different color. And I forget what it has over the heart right here. But yeah, now I have a Grinch hoodie, and I'm very excited about it, and I love it so very much. At some point in the future, I might try to figure out how to make it a separating zipper situation, but it's fine. Another thing that I would like to add to this to make it that much better is pockets. It desperately needs pockets. When I'm wearing it, I try to put my hands in the non-existent pockets, so I gotta work on that. But other than that, I love it. It's great. My next finished object, where is it? Is my All That tee by Shanakay Salmon, and I made this tee in a make along with Akira of the Knitting Annihilator podcast. We decided that we were going to make them together when she came down in November, I think it was. We bought yarn together and we started working on it together. No, it was October. September? I don't know. It was the end of last year that she came to Florida with her family and visited, and we got to hang out. But I finished it. I wanted to finish this. This was like my big project for the Mr. Grinch Mal. I wanted to finish it by the end of the make-along. The make-along ended on the 31st of December, and I think I finished this, like bound it off on like January 2nd or something like that. But here she is. I love it. I wore it yesterday. It's super comfy. I think I would make this again. I think I would. I put one of my Grinch tags in it. I forget, I don't have the name of this shop off the top of my head, but I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, I love it. Let's see. The yarn that I used was Barocco Remix. I had 2 or 3 skeins of the dark green and 1 skein of the light green. Per the pattern, the whole top is supposed to be the same color, and then the ribbings, like the collar, the arm ribbings, and the bottom band ribbing are supposed to be your contrast. I knew I wasn't gonna have enough yarn to do that because the pattern is written for fingering weight, and Barocco Remix Light is, I don't know, maybe a sport. So I knew that I was going to be playing yarn chicken at some point. So what I did to remedy that was, instead of starting at the ribbing as the pattern dictates, I skipped the ribbing, did a provisional cast on, and started and worked from there so that I could finish the whole body in the dark green and then assess how much I had left. If I had enough to do the sleeves in the dark green, I would. If not, I knew I was going to do the sleeves then in the light green, and then whatever I had left over of the dark green, I would at the end pick up my provisional cast on, knit down in stockinette, and then do my bottom ribbing in the light green, which is what I ended up doing. And yeah, I ended up knitting this much more in my leftover dark green. I can tell that it's this much more because your girl accidentally knit this bit in the wrong needle size. I realized my error when I went to change needles for the ribbing, and I was like, oh well, it's fine. This has not been blocked yet, but I wore it anyway. I wove in the ends. Celebrate me. Yay! I wove in my ends, like most of them. And yeah, so I just need to wash it, and I really like how this yarn washes. It softens up a lot, and it's so nice. So I'm excited to put this in my wardrobe, and I'm also excited to use this yarn for more tops because it is so Florida friendly. Yes. The All That Tea is a paid for pattern. I do recommend it. It was very simple, very straightforward. I would love to make it again. The only thing that might like hinder me doing it again is just it was so much stockinette, so much, that I was just like in the midst of that body, I was just lost. Ugh. But this is also another pattern that I would love to convert to crochet, so I think I will do that as well. And since it is so basic in the shaping, there isn't really any shaping. It's a very boxy t-shirt. It can definitely lend itself to dropping a color work chart in there. Like that would be really cool. It's a very good basic to have, you know, in your library. So that is done. Akira also finished hers around the same time that I did. And she did hers in Emma's yarn, and her colors are switched. So the body of hers is a light green and the trim is a dark green. So we cute. And those are all of my finished objects. On to works in progress. So my first work in progress is my other project from the Mr. Grinch Mal, and that is living in one of my Grinchy bags. And these are my On Top of Mount Crumpet socks. I have one mostly finished. I'm gonna do an afterthought heel in it, but I've got the sock pretty much done. This yarn is Felici Beyond the Wall. Yeah, Felici Beyond the Wall. And then I'm not sure what this green is. It was a gift long time ago, but it's perfectly Grinchy, right? So I've got one sock done. I am gonna do the Afterthought heel in this same Grinchy green, and this is as far as I have gotten with the second sock. My next work in progress is the reason that this is as far as I've gotten in this sock. But yeah, here are, here are the yarns that I'm using, Beyond the Wall and that green. I really, really like this green. It's so pretty. I need to see if maybe I wrote it down somewhere in one of my notebooks in the past of what this color is, because I would like to get more. But that's that. I think like I could get this knocked out really quickly if I focused on it, but unfortunately this next project is taking all of your girls' focus. Like all of the extra sitting down, watching a movie, vegging out, breathing time is this project. This is the Crochet Memories blanket by Siegmund. It is a corner to corner, join as you go crochet blanket that is meant to use up your like leftovers and stuff. The pattern, it's a paid for pattern. It only costs $1. And Hannah also did a video showing the join as you go method. So if you already know how to do a corner to corner square, you can use the video on her YouTube channel and go from there. But her pattern includes like the yardage and sizing for like a ton of different sized blankets. And when did I start this? I don't remember. It was some point at the end of December. And I started it and it just completely ran away with my entire heart, soul, and spirit. It's also been the project that I reach for when I'm feeling a little bit down. There is sections in here that I made, that there is a section in here that is a specific Kiva section, which I'm very happy with. So I'm gonna show you my blanket, and this is actually the Kiva section right here. So this yarn right here is like a sparkly red and pink yarn that was given to me during Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. And I think I put this on the day she passed away. So I either put this on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but this was the first one I put on the blanket when we lost Kiva. And so then I wanted there to be just like a Kiva section. So I found a brown, like a tan in my stash that, you know, is her fur, and the red for her collar, and then the black for her eyeliner. One of the things that people always commented about Kiva was the black eyeliner around her eyes. Everyone was always like, oh my gosh, her eyeliner is so pretty. And she would be like, yes, it is. So I had to commemorate her eyeliner. So this is my little Kiva section. And because I have a Kiva section here, I want to do a Tootie section. So I can, like, this color is also Tootie's color. So maybe I'll find a black and white, because she has white markings, like a black and white and a pink, because her collar is pink, and do something like that. So then I'll have like all of my pups in one section. I think that will be fun. But anyway, this is how big it is so far. Oh, it looks so happy. I love it. I am trying not to put a whole lot of mental energy behind like finding the right next color. But I am being a little bit choosy. So like, since I have this solid blue color here, I'm not gonna put another blue right on top of it. So I try to be a little bit particular about the colors. One thing that I am doing is using up my teeny tiny bits of yarn. So I had a bag that was all 5 gram or less leftovers, and I would group them together in color schemes or you know, different groupings that made sense, and make squares using those. For instance, this square is, the pink is one, is it? No, the rainbow up until part of this purple is one bit, like one leftover bit of yarn. Then I had some more purple, and then I had a little tiny bit of yellow, and then I had this yellow. So I blended all of that together, so I have like a sunshine and rainbow. This right here, these 4 squares, yeah, these 4 squares are where I started. This was the first square, and I wanted to do a rainbow, so I've got the pink, the orange, the yellow, and then the next square started here and went green, blue, and purple. And those are all individual like leftovers that I had. This one here is yarn that I used, well, this brown, little bit of blue here, and then this bluey green are yarns that I bought when my best friend had her son. These yarns here were given to me by Melinda, who is Yarnder Woman. And then I have leftovers from a bunch of projects. This yarn used to be a pair of socks that I frogged. This yarn was a pair of socks that I wore yesterday. You know, just socks, a lot of socks. This peach yarn was given to me during Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted this year. This one was also a Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. This one was thrifted. I made socks out of this. And it's so fun. Like, it is a memories blanket. And then I have other squares like this one that the yarn doesn't have a significant memory, but I'm enjoying like blending them together. This is my Christmas socks that I made last year, I think. I bought this yarn in the yarn store in Delaware. Yarn Maven? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that's where I got that, in Delaware with my mom. And yeah. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, adding to this blanket. One of the cool things about the way that Hannah shows you how to do the join as you go is you can join anywhere. So if you wanna, like on here, I was working down this way and then I couldn't figure out what color I wanted to go next. So then I started working on this corner and worked down this way. So it's really fun, and I really enjoy this project. And it is definitely giving me the space that I need to, you know, be quiet, be meditative sometimes, like, you know, when I'm in my feels. And the corner to corner stitch is very similar to the granny stitch in that I can do it without looking, for real. So that also is awesome. My last work in progress is it's a Kiva project. I feel like this episode is going to be very Kiva heavy because, you know, I'm just missing my girl, and I just want to make all of the things that are going to evoke her cute little spirit and face. So this is where we are. In a bag that I made long time ago, I have this project, and this is as far as I've gotten so far. I just have the cuff of the socks and the first row. I'm making a color work pair of socks, and they're going to be called Little Wolfie. Little Wolfie was one of Kiva's nicknames that I called her occasionally, because on her hip she had a marking that looked like a howling wolf. And it's so cute. So Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast sent me this yarn and a skein of white yarn because it reminded her of Kiva's colors, and obviously I had to make something Kiva related. With 2 skeins, I could have done like a shawl or something like that, but I really wanted it to be like very Kiva. So I scoured all of my pictures looking for a good picture of her little Wolfie, and I found one. And then I traced the general shape of the image onto some graph paper, and then, you know, graphed it out. I added a heart, so there's going to be a heart above her, like 2 hearts above the Wolfie, and then a dog bone at the bottom. Is it 2 hearts? No, it's going to be like 1 heart. So the chart is enough to be, it's 32 stitches across. So the socks that I always make are 64 stitches. So I'll have 1 Wolfie on the front of the sock and 1 Wolfie on the back. And then there will be a heart and a dog bone in between them. And then she also had little freckles. So there's little spots and little stars that I put, you know, sprinkled about on there. And I'm really, really excited to make these socks. I'm not using the white yarn that Hannah gave me with this, because I wanted to use a yarn that had a little bit of speckling in it to evoke those freckles as well. So this, well, first, this yarn is Wool Mize. Hold on, everything's tangled up. Okay, this yarn is Rose Spats and Wool Mize, the twin base. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% PA. I'm assuming that's like nylon or something like that. And does it have a color? I don't think so. Anyway, it's color Kiva. And then this yarn is Sweet Tea Yarns by Molly Klein Design, and it is the Eggnog colorway, and it's in the Sweet Sock base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So as you can see, it's like, it's a cream color with little tiny brown flecks around. So perfect. Perfect. There we go. So I will put a picture here of the chart. This is what I created. And well, let me just stay in the middle. I'll do a picture of the chart on this side and then a picture of her Wolfie on this side, so that you guys can see, you know, you can see what the vision is. But I'm so excited about these socks. I'm very happy. So that is one of the projects that I will be working on in honor of the bestest, goodest girl ever there was. And it's so tangled already. That is all of my works in progress. So let's talk about maker plans, which I have one. It's also Kiva related. I mentioned it during Vlogmas, but I do want to make a blanket using her colors. So I bought the yarn some point at the end of Vlogmas. So I have a black, a cream, like a dark brown, a medium brown, and a light brown, I think, and a red. And my plan is to make the Just Feel Better shawl. So my Just Feel Better shawl pattern, it's a triangular shawl, an asymmetrical triangular shawl. And I'm just going to stripe the colors as the spirit moves. And I want to make 4 of them so that then I can seam it together into a blanket. And I really like that idea because it's the Just Feel Better pattern, and that pattern is definitely my go-to whenever I do need a project to just turn off my brain and think good thoughts, you know. So I don't know how long it's going to take me. I also don't know how big I'm going to make this blanket. I guess it all depends on that first quadrant that I finish, how big the piece will be. I definitely want it to be big enough to snuggle under, you know, because Kiva was a snuggler. She was here for the belly rubs. She was here for the snuggles. She was, yes. So I want her blanket to lend itself to that as well. Side note, I was also thinking about making something for Tootie, like a little tiny blanket for Tootie, because she does like, she likes to get under the blankets when she sleeps. She likes to be cozy as well. And the other day, Lamar and I were sitting on the bed watching a movie or something, and she hopped up on the bed and was just looking at us. So Lamar was asking her, like, are you hungry? And she didn't do anything. Do you want to go outside? She didn't do anything. Do you want cuddles? She didn't do anything. And he said, do you miss Kiva? And she said, oh, and like came up to him for like pets. And when I tell you, my little heart pieces kind of exploded a little bit, because like that was just, it was too much. It was too much for my little heart. And I just, like, Tootie misses her sister. And like, Tootie has always had Kiva. I got Tootie when she was maybe a couple months old, when I was like babysitting her or dog sitting her for a coworker, and then the coworker just never came back for her, even though I called her multiple times, but whatever. So for pretty much all of Tootie's life, she's always had Kiva with her. They'd never go anywhere separate. They were always together. So I know that for Tootie, this is a complete change of everything that she has known. And you know, I want to make something, like I want to make something for her. So I might do something like that. But that's the only thing that I have on maker plans right now. The next thing I have is stash positions. So we'll do stash positions, and then we'll do Kalisha and the Babe, and then we'll do Life and Whatnot, and that'll be all she wrote. So stash positions. every year during Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, my wish is for minis so that I can make a DIY advent calendar. And this year I was able to do that again. So thank you so much to everybody who sent me minis. I really enjoyed opening my little advent, my wishes advent every day this year, or every day this December. So here is a picture of my completed advent. Part of me feels like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but also part of me is like, let's do what we did last year and make a blanket. So we'll do a square a day every day up until my birthday, because I can, you know, if I do that, that's the 24 minis used in February from the 1st to the 24th. It just works out perfectly. But I have to figure out how I want to do that. If I want to attach that to my birthday blanket from last year, if I want to keep doing the same pattern, I don't know. Ideas, not fleshed out, but advent. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Well, those are the yarns that I got for my Wishes Advent. So I'm very excited to use those towards something. We'll figure it out. Then I wanted to share with you some of the gifts that I got as like feel better gifts from some friends and viewers of the podcast. So Akira, who I mentioned earlier, who I did the All That Tea with, she sent me, Lamar, and Tootie a care package. It was so sweet. The best thing in that care package were a set of squeak toys that she sent for Tootie. And it was 3 donuts. And I don't know if she picked the donuts on purpose or like because she knew the significance of donuts to my family. But so I'm just gonna think that she did. My husband Lamar loves donuts. Like, it's a thing. His groom's cake at our wedding was a stack of Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. It's like that. So when I opened the box and I saw the dog toys, that was 3 donuts in a little box, it was the best. And Tootie has been playing with them, squeaking them, carrying them around. She loves her donuts, just like her papa. But that was really cool. And she also included a wellness journal, which I want to use. And it has like a mood tracker in it. It has appointments, meditation activity, physical activity, a place for you to write your acts of self-care, acts of kindness, lessons learned today I'm grateful for, and a daily affirmation. And then it has a little checklist down here that says rest and relax, self-care, movement, and hydration, for like if you've done those things. And I think that's really cool. Oh wow, there's more stuff in here. I thought they were all these pages, but it's not. There's affirmation doodles, express yourself and free your mind. What else is in here? Ooh. Weekly goals, a meal planner. Your girl needs this because the amount of times that I forget to eat, it's obscene. Totally obscene. Weekly productivity goals. This is awesome. This is cool. So thank you so much, Akira, for this. It is gonna come in handy, I know. I would love this year to be kinder to myself, or not kinder, because I feel like I do put a lot of energy into being kind to myself, but a bit more proactive with cultivating a like inner space that allows for peace and calm, as opposed to always having to pull out my tools to like, because I'm having a downswing, you know? Like when I'm good, I want to figure out ways to maintain that feeling, and also figure out ways to keep that feeling even when I'm not feeling so good, if that makes any sense. It makes sense in my brain, so I guess that's the only place it really needs to make sense. So then I showed you guys the yarn that Hannah gave me. I received some yarn from Carla and a pouch from Pam. All of these also came with beautiful notes and cards, like sympathy cards, that just made me feel really, really good. Like, it felt good, and I appreciate that so very much. Carla sent, among other yarns, this very Kiva yarn. This yarn is Old Lady Kiva color, and the sock yarn that I showed earlier is Puppy Kiva color. So you can see over the years how her color just faded as she got more gray, and I love that I have both colors, you know, now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I have 3 skeins of this. It is a wool alpaca tinsel baby camel mix, and it's worsted weight. I will have to do a swatch to see if this is something that I can wear, because I know that alpaca tends to be not my skin's favorite fiber. So since it has that little bit of alpaca content in it, I do feel a little bit of the prickliness, but I'm not sure if it would be the same as like a top with a wide neck, you know, if it's not up here on my throat. We'll find out. Also, I probably shouldn't make a top out of this, because then I would look like I'm not wearing anything. We'll figure this out. So thank you, Carla, for this. And then Pam sent this. It's Kiva colors and her collar and her eyeliner, and I just can't. I don't know what I'm going to put in it, but it's adorable. And when I opened it, I did cry. I will tell you now, I cried. But I'm so grateful to be a part of this community that has people who are thoughtful enough to want to make something for someone else to make them smile, or send things to someone to make them smile when they're having a hard time. So thank you so much for those things. And then during, I think it was at the end of December, I got a box from Cheryl, and it was full of Grinchy goodies that, of course, brought a huge smile to my face. There was yarn, there was Grinch mugs, there was a his and hers Grinch mug, which I'm delighted about. So I will have to, you know, Lamar and I will have to have like a date night where we drink hot cocoa out of our Grinch mugs. But she sent me this yarn, which is SBY Fiber Mercantile Shirley Bryan yarn, and this is the Soulmate Sync Stripe self-striping sock yarn, It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and they are two 50-gram skeins. And this is the color Whoville. So definitely love, I really, really like them. And 50 grams of yarn is enough for me to make a pair of socks if I use contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. So I've got 2 pairs of socks here. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for all of the Grinchy goodness. It definitely brought a smile to my face. Okay, now the last thing that I'm going to show you is going to cross us over into Kalisha and the Babe, and also a bit of life and whatnot. So yesterday I went to Distaff Day in Orlando, and it's like a tiny fiber-ish, festival-ish situation. I got to hang out with Hannah and our friend Marisi, and it was really nice to be able to see them, you know, in person. The last time I saw Marisi was at Distaff Day 2020, so here we are. We also got to hang out with another friend, Maria, who I also haven't seen since, I think, shortly after Distaff Day 2020. After Distaff Day, but before the world shut down, was the last time I saw Maria. So it was really nice to get to hang out with them. And while I was there, I did pick up some goodies. I got from Euphoric Fibers. That's their card. I got this beautiful braid. Oh my Lanta. When I saw it, it was the only one over there, and it was behind a whole bunch of other colors. And I was just kind of looking, and then I spied with my little eye in the back corner something that looked like underwater worlds, and it is 4 ounces of Targhee bamboo and silk. I'm excited. I am excited. I currently have a bat of fiber on my wheel that I was supposed to work on during December, but that didn't happen at all. I did not touch my wheel at all during December. So I want to finish that that fiber that I have on the wheel before I start this one. And part of me wants to, I was gonna say part of me wants to spin this on my e-spinner, but I think this is too big of a project to just jump right in with the e-spinner. I still need to be taking baby steps with that. So this will be going on my wheel. If I could spin this, no, I can't spin and make something out of this during the Pisces season make along. That would be dope, but let's not set ourselves up for failure. But I just want to look at it. Like, I need to take pictures of this fiber for like my phone background. I love it so much. And then I got these progress keepers from YB Square. That's their info. Dang, I can't keep my hands straight or still. But these are the progress keepers that I got from YB Square. We'll just show these two because all of the round ones are the same. Ooh, dirty nail. Come on, we can do it. Get it together. There we go. So I've got 4 of these round ones and then a little spaceship. That was a struggle. So I've got 4 of the round ones and a spaceship. When I saw them, I was like, I have to get them. They're just so cute. They're so cute. And then the last thing that I got at Distaff Day was from Twin Mommy Creations, and I didn't grab one of her business cards. It was towards the end of the day where I was kind of getting overwhelmed with being around people, and yeah, my brain just kind of went. Meow. So this is a set of stitch markers, and they're little acrylic sweaters. Yeah, so there's a striped one, a leopard print one, a plaid one. Oh, there's a couple striped ones. Oh, and there's Twin Mommy Creations. So I've got stripes like this, striped like that, leopard print. This one is very much Lisa Frank. It's giving me Lisa Frank vibes, hardcore. Same with that one. Oh no, same with that one. And then the striped one I already showed you, and then a plaid one. So yes, I thought they were adorable. So now I have sweater stitch markers for when I make sweaters. Is that everything? Yep. Yep, that is everything. So will these all fit in here? This teeny tiny little container. Oh, it's adorable. So that's everything. Life and whatnot, I already talked about the major life change that has happened. I really enjoyed hanging out with my fiber friends yesterday. Tomorrow is the beginning of the spring trimester at work. We are still in the midst of so much change, so much flux. But every day I just have to show up and do my best and remind myself that I can only control me. Yeah, just do my best with what I'm given. That's it, really. The plants are doing all right. They definitely lost a bit of care after Kiva passed, so I need to get that together. I want to do some spring cleaning, beginning of the year cleaning to get my plant areas situated again, so that I can get them growing and happy, because when my plants are happy, it makes me feel so much better about life in general. So yeah, but that's everything. Thanks for being with me through 2022, and I hope to bring you all more regular content during 2023. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of my universe, and I will see you all next time. Bye, friends.